die Verbrennung der Amerikaner.
What is up, my stunning mates of YouTube? My name is Aussie Marcel, and in today's video I'm going to be listing 5 fragrances I don't recommend for summer. But before then, if you haven't entered the giveaway yet and you wish to win this bottle of Le Parfait Pour Homme by Armaf, it's a clone of Creed's Aventus, all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel, follow the Aussie Marcel Instagram, and drop a comment below. If you've already entered though, don't worry about re-entering because I've got your name saved on my phone. It's pretty simple. I look forward to seeing your entries, guys, and yeah. So my fragrance of the day, Prada Luna Rosa Sport. It's a fresh vanilla scent. It's absolutely beautiful. It is a beautiful smelling fragrance, and it is always good for a compliment. Performance is really solid for a fresh scent as well. If you haven't checked this one out, if you haven't had the fortune of checking this one out yet though, I do think this one is blind buy worthy, but the price may be a little off-putting to some people. It can be found around the $80 Australian mark, depending on where you purchase it from. So that brings me to the first fragrance I don't recommend for summer, and that is Prada Luna Rosa. This is a good smelling fragrance. People love the way this one smells. It's very versatile. However, the reason I don't recommend it is because the performance is not great at all. We're talking about 4 to 6 hours, and that's if you overspray it. And for that exact reason is why I recommend Prada Luna Rosa Sport. It's got a very similar profile, except it's fresh vanilla. It just performs so much better than this, and it's around about the same price as well. So avoid Prada Luna Rosa unless you really just want a fragrance that's really inoffensive that you can wear every day at work. Then in that case, maybe check this one out. But for the most part, and in most other circumstances, I would be recommending Prada Luna Rosa Sport. It's just the fresher, more vibrant, better performing scent. And it's the same price, so why not get something that's just better? The next fragrance I don't recommend for summer is one that I smell occasionally out in the wild, and that is Yo Pomme, or Dew Pomme if you prefer, the Eau de Toilette. Look, this is a guilty pleasure of mine, and I know some of you people absolutely hate the way this one smells. I'm not one of those people. I'm wearing it on my hand right now because I wanted to remind myself of the potency. It's one of the best performing fragrances on the market for the price. $30 gets you a fragrance that honestly lasts 72 hours plus. I've got a dress shirt with this on it and I just can't get it off. I've washed it dozens of times. Oh, maybe not dozens, but you know, close to a dozen. And it still smells like it. So in terms of raw performance, for $30 Australian, you're getting something that's just exceptional. However, it is so cloying, so synthetic, so sweet, and some people think it comes across like cough syrup. And so for that reason, I don't recommend it for summer. Obviously, if you're one of those people that can't get enough of this fragrance, wear it whenever the bloody hell you want. But in the high heat of summer, just in summer in general, it's just not ideal. The hot weather really amplifies this fragrance. It really makes it project like a monster. And if you are wearing this out in the public, especially at a cafe, if you're going out for dinner, somewhere, something like that, this is just going to stink out a room very, very easily. So that's why I advise extreme caution when wearing this one, unless you want to be an inconsiderate dickhead and, you know, stink out a room, in which case, go nuts. But obviously, I don't recommend that. I don't condone that. Performance, though, cannot be denied. The next fragrance I don't recommend for the same reason is Davidoff Cool Water Intense. This is, how would I describe this? Heavy on the coconut, heavy on the amber, with a bit of citrus as well. It's a kind of like a unique men's fragrance, but it is just so dense and so cloying. Performance is very similar to Yo Pomme. It is an absolute beast when it comes to performance, but when it comes to wearing it in summer, it's just way too strong. It does smell good, it is sexy, it is sweet, but it is just so bloody strong. People are gonna hate the way this one smells on you because if you're out in public, for example, and it's really hot outside, the heat tends to amplify certain notes, and the amber in this one gets amplified, and it just makes it extreme. It's a very excessive, unnatural, synthetic smelling fragrance. The coconut in it is very synthetic. It doesn't smell like real coconut at all. It doesn't even smell like shaved coconut. It's got that sort of, I would almost say, sickly sweet girl's suntanny lotion quality to it. Combine that with the really powerful amber note and that, bright citrus opening that just brings it to the surface. This is a very potent fragrance. If all you care about is performance, this may be the fragrance for you, but for the same reason I don't recommend Yo Pomme for summer, I don't recommend Davidoff Cool Water Intense, but performance again is incredible. The next fragrance I don't recommend is Love and Luck by Ed Hardy. You can still find this one around Australia, especially at chemist warehouses, for less than $30 Australian. And if you're somebody that likes that early 2000s Ed Hardy style, these designs are really going to appeal to you. And to a certain sort of bloke, this is really going to be the sort of pinnacle of fragrances. There are just some blokes out there, my dad among them, that really love the Ed Hardy designs and they just never grow out of that sort of aesthetic. But the fragrance itself has this really astringent, bitter citrus note, and it isn't in a beautifully expressed way either. It's just like a poor quality ingredient sort of bitterness. There's almost nothing redeeming about this. The entire Ed Hardy line is kind of mediocre. The one with the tiger on the front has kind of like an attractive amber note, but even then it's still a mediocre scent. This though is just awful. I do not recommend this one at all. But as somebody that is absolutely covered in tats, the design is always going to be a little appealing to me. I just want to spray it again. Let's have a sniff. Yeah, that weird citrus note. It's got like this synthetic aromatic quality to it as well. There's just so many other fresh citrus scents on the market that I'd recommend in place of this one. Light blue intense, for example. Even though it's way more expensive, it just smells so much better. So for that reason, I do not recommend Ed Hardy Love and Luck. It's a mediocre scent, mediocre performance, mediocre across the board. And the last fragrance I don't recommend for summer is Calvin Klein Defy Eau de Toilette. This one smells decent. It's not that it smells bad, because it doesn't. It smells good and it's going to get you compliments. But for a similar price, you can get Calvin Klein Defy Eau de Parfum, which is just so much better in terms of performance and compliments. This one is a little more floral and fresh. It's got like a candy sweetness in that opening. Very sexy, very attractive, but for just a tiny bit more money, you can get a 200 ml bottle of Defy Eau de Parfum from Chemist Warehouse, and that is just one of the best value fragrances of 2022. People are going to love the way that one smells on you. People are going to love the way this one smells, but just in terms of spending a little extra to get a lot more performance, I highly recommend Calvin Klein Defy Eau de Parfum. Calvin Klein have really surprised me lately with Calvin Klein Defy Eau de Parfum, and Eternity Parfum. They're kind of making a comeback, and it's really beautiful to see because Calvin Klein have some of the most underrated scents on the market. Scents that I would recommend in place of Defy Eau de Toilette: CK1, CKB, CK All, CK Everyone, the EDT or the EDP. Although if you're paying everyone EDP prices, you're better off just getting Defy Eau de Parfum. So yeah, those are just a few scents that I highly recommend in place of Defy Eau de Toilette. If you've ever worn any of these fragrances before in summer, God help you and your family. I'm just kidding, guys. It's actually not that big of a deal, but if you've ever worn them before, let me know in the comments below, and let me know what fragrances you don't recommend for summer. I can't wait to see what some of you guys have to say. And until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel, and I'll catch you guys around.